Hey YouTube, Souchaku Henshin here with a review of the S.H.Figuarts Kamen Rider Zeronos Altair foam from Kamen Rider Den-O. So Zeronos was the secondary rider for Den-O, and actually probably one of my favorite secondary riders. I'm not sure why, but I really did like the character, and the suit design is actually something that interests me quite a bit too. I'm not sure, again, not sure why. I mean, it's just a train bowl, but I like trains, what can I say? So that was actually kind of creepy. The Altair form box is nice and green because that's what Zeronos does. His logo right here in the middle, just like the Den-O packages, except just a tiny bit different. Master Rider Zeronos, Altair form, very cool. So, Altair, Deneb, and Vega, the stars associated with Zeronos, are all the stars of the summer triangle, as they call it. So that's a nice little tidbit that probably everyone knows, but decided to say it anyway while showing off the box. Pretty nice figure. So obviously, being a Den-O mold, it's based off of the mold that premiered with New Den-O Trilogy version, I believe. Which is very cool because I do love this mold. The shoulders are a little bit wonky to me. I'm not sure why. It's just the way that they're designed. I feel like they don't get as much movement as they could, particularly in this vertical position. It looks like his shoulders are slouched all the time, but that could just be me. You do get a full range of motion, and it's really not all that bad. In fact, it's actually quite good. I think it just looks a little bit strange for some reason. But you do get a swivel at the bicep right there, double joint, typical wrist joint down there. Lots of movement in the waist. However, the joint I find that connects the belly to the waist, or rather the stomach area, is very tight. There's just not a lot of room in there to actually make use of the joint, so that one's kind of a letdown. But down here you do get ball and socket style hip down there with a thigh swivel, double joint, and then the very cool plastic ball swivelly jointy foot of justice that I do love quite a bit. So a very nice looking mold overall. It's a tiny bit thin, I think, but outside of that, detail-wise, it looks absolutely great. The area right around here looks very bare. He's got quite a high chest in terms of the armor, and then between the sagging crotch area down here and the quite exposed midriff area, the area around the belt just looks very plain. So that's a bit of a letdown as well, but I haven't really seen Zeronos' suit in a while, so that might actually be fairly accurate. I think it just looks kind of strange in terms of the figure. Back here you've got very nice detailing with the train tracks on both the helmet and the back, which look very nice as well. And overall the paint used on this is just very, very gorgeous, and it makes me very excited for Hurricane Style Wizard, just because I think it might actually turn out pretty decent. So you've got some very nice green metallic paint all throughout the figure. The gold has a nice sheen to it, and the silver, of course, is very gorgeous, as it always is, with the Bandai toys. And then you've got a nice, darker, kind of graphite color going on through the rest of the armor. And the head sculpt is really good as well. You've got nice green compound eyes, and you can really see the bull motif throughout there. So very cool overall, and it's just a very great figure art that I want to say is the best figure art released in October, but given the only other retail release was Wild Tiger Movie Edition, he really didn't have too big of competition. But still a very, very great figure art. Accessory-wise, he comes with the Zeronos Belt that is suitable for the insertion of the card. So right before he inserts the card, it's kind of lined up like this. Then when the card inserts, it twists. So you've got that one. Primarily for like a mid-transformation between Altair and Vega. And then right here you have the little holster piece where the pieces of the ZeroGasher go. But you have the card holder connected to it since that never leaves. And then the other holster piece for the ZeroGasher right there. Actually, the front is actually right there. Obviously, you get a Zeronos card featuring the Altair and Vega little colors, which looks very cool. There's no Zero card included. I assume that will come out with the Zero form. ZeroGasher in Bow Gun Mode. Doesn't really move or anything like that, but it is highly detailed. Tons and tons of detail through there. So very cool as always. And then the ZeroGasher in Sabre Mode. Pretty cool as well. I'm more favored toward the Bow Gun Mode just because I like crossbows. So bow guns are cool to me. And I've got enough Figuarts with swords. That's something cool like a bow gun is something up my alley. Hand-wise, you have two hands for holding the Zeronos card. One holds it on an angle, one holds it a little bit more straight. They're really not that much different. I'm not sure why they wasted hands on those, but only needed one. Just relaxed hands, slightly posed. Pretty neat. Two hands for holding the ZeroGasher in Sabre Mode, since he does pretty much need two hands to hold that thing. One for the bottom and one for the actual handle bit. Then you've got a hand that has a thumbs up because he's Zeronos and he's very strong. A pointy hand because you did something wrong and now he's going to kill you. And a hand for holding the bow gun. You don't get a different hand for holding the bow gun, you only get the right hand. So he can never shoot the bow gun with his left hand. Because that's a bad idea apparently. Horrible, horrible idea. So, very, very awesome figure. So one thing I do want to point out right here is that this piece right here, which is the holster piece that has the handle of the ZeroGasher attached, is actually two pieces. What I found is that the handle doesn't really hold in there all that well. So if Zeronos, if you have his holster pieces in, were to take a fall or anything like that, there's a great chance that this will pop up and fly somewhere. That being said, I did glue it right in there since there's no real reason for it to come out in the first place outside of holding the individual ZeroGasher pieces for some insane reason on why you'd want to display it like that. I just went ahead and glued it in, and I recommend everyone do the same if you decide to pose it with this, since there's a good chance it might fall off and get lost somewhere. So that being said, Zeronos is an absolutely fantastic figure. If you're a fan of Den-O, then by all means pick this up. If you already have the Souchaku Henshin release, then it's probably not as big of a necessity since the Souchaku Henshin figure is actually a very, very good figure. So if you already have the Souchaku Henshin, there really isn't too big of a need to pick this up. But given the fact that he's a retail release, he will get pretty cheap. And just the overall paint scheme and everything on this makes it a very, very worthy pickup in my opinion. I particularly really like the figure. I don't have the Souchaku Henshin to compare, but I still think this is a pretty good pickup. If you're a fan of Den-O or Zeronos in general, then by all means pick it up. Very, very fantastic figure with a pretty good accessory count. A lot of hands, some of them kind of useless. But I love the fact that it basically gives you all the necessary pieces to make sure that you can accurately display the figure with the pieces that it's supposed to have. So that's always a nice touch. Some of them are kind of crazy, but I really like the fact that you can pretty much do anything with these figures and not make some sort of weird paradoxical display of death. So, very cool figure. Like I said, if you're a fan, definitely pick it up. I see no real flaws in the figure other than that midriff area being kind of bare and off-putting a little bit, but if you pose them right, it kind of covers it up and it's not really that huge of a deal anymore. Very nice paint, very nice details, and all-around great figure. So you can check out shukenshinobi.com for the latest updates on my reviews and hauls, and of course check out ridersrenewsandrambles.com, the podcast bringing the latest token news in the craziest way possible, and you can pick up this guy and more S.H.Figuarts at cstoysjapan.com. So take care and have a great one. Bye. Zeronos Belt.